Have you ever paused to wonder what or who you truly are? Beyond your thoughts, beyond the roles you play every day, there's a hidden dimension within you that's eternal, unchanging, and deeply divine. This is the you that existed before birth and will endure beyond death, the true essence, the soul that connects you to the infinite. Yet, in the chaos of modern life, through social pressures, material pursuits, and religious dogmas, this inner truth often gets buried beneath layers of illusion.
The Upanishads whisper, the self is divine, immortal, and full of bliss. Katha Upanishad 2.2.13, a reminder that your core isn't your body or your mind, but an eternal divine spark. The Buddha said, all conditioned phenomena are like a dream, fleeting, transient, urging us to seek what remains beyond the illusion. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us, the soul is neither born nor dies, it is eternal, unborn, and unchanging. Gita 2.20. This core, this spark, your divine essence, is what animates you and connects you to the source of all existence.
Who am I? But how many of us remember this truth? How many realize that beneath the surface of the ego, this false identity built on separation, is the divine consciousness waiting to be rediscovered? The journey inward begins with a simple question, who am I? And this question has the power to dissolve the illusions of the ego, of desire, and of fear. Ramana Maharshi urged us, who am I? Because in that question lies the direct path to realizing you are that, the divine presence within. When you awaken to the divine within, your perspective shifts. You see others not as separate beings, but as expressions of the same divine source. The Prophet Muhammad said, indeed, the soul is like a bird. If it is confined, it cannot fly. If set free, it can soar to the heavens.
Freedom begins in releasing the ego's grip, embracing love, humility, and compassion. When you recognize your divine spark, the boundaries of separation fade away. You become love itself. This awakening isn't just personal, it's a collective revolution. Every soul that remembers its divine origin lifts the consciousness of the whole. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin beautifully said, you are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. So today, I invite you. Will you choose to remember? Will you reclaim your divine inheritance and awaken the eternal within? Because the truth is, you are a divine spark, a fragment of the infinite, waiting for you to realize your true nature. When you recognize the divine within, life transforms. The illusions of separation and limitation dissolve. You rediscover that your true self is beyond birth and death, eternal, boundless, and full of bliss.
This is your sacred calling. To turn inward, ask the profound question, who am I? And listen for the divine whispers within. Because the path to liberation starts here, inside your heart, in the silence, in the awareness that you are, this eternal, unchanging presence. It is in that stillness, beyond the chatter of the mind and the illusions of separation, that your true nature reveals itself. When you recognize that you are more than your thoughts, more than your body, and more than your ego, when you identify with the infinite consciousness that underpins all existence, then you step into the realm of true freedom. The journey inward is not about escaping the world, but about awakening to the divine reality already alive within you. This is the essence of spiritual awakening, realizing that your true self is not separate from the divine, but is the divine itself, forever radiant, perfect, and free. So listen closely, trust the silent voice within, and remember, your awakening begins here, in the heart, with the profound question, who am I? Imagine a life where every moment is an opportunity to remember your divine nature. where you no longer seek approval from the outside world because you've uncovered the eternal truth. You are a divine spark, an unchanging presence within.
When you awaken to this truth, compassion flows effortlessly. You see the divine in everyone, regardless of race, religion, or background. It's the realization that every human being is an expression of the same divine source, and that love is the language of our true nature. The kingdom of God is within you, Jesus Christ. As Jesus taught us, the kingdom of God is within you, Luke 17-21. This inner kingdom is accessible now, waiting patiently for you to open your heart. This journey isn't complicated. It's about returning to the silence within. It's about asking, "Who am I?" and listening beyond the mind's noise. When you do, you're reconnecting with the divine spark that's been there all along, your true self. Remember the words of the Quran. Indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Quran 13:11. The power to change your life, to transform your destiny, is within you, waiting to be awakened. And it's not just individual. When enough of us awaken, the collective consciousness shifts. Peace, love, and unity become the new reality. Because, as Pierre Teilhard de Chardin said, you are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience.
Therefore, I ask you today, are you ready to remember? Are you ready to step into the fullness of your divine nature? Because the path is simple yet profound. Turn inward. Ask, "Who am I?" and listen for the divine whisper guiding you home. You don't need to go somewhere else. The sacred is already inside you, waiting for your conscious recognition. When you align with this truth, every moment becomes a sacred one, an opportunity for real liberation, joy, and enlightened living. Remember, your true self is eternal, divine, and full of bliss. The journey to liberation begins now, within your heart. So, step beyond the illusions, embrace your divine heritage, and soar into the infinite.